Yo, Daisy Marquez is on the cruise show. Let's get it. Real 92.3 LA's new home for hip hop. What's going down? What's up?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
How are you, Daisy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I
Crazy
love
Daisy.
Oh, I love that. You know what they actually call me? They call me Dangerous Daisy. And
Dangerous
I was like,
Daisy.
Yeah, and then I had one of those nights and I got it tatted on my neck, and my mom was so mad, and I regret it. This was like years ago.
Yeah.
I regret it.
You still have it? Where is it?
It's behind my neck.
Show Leche really
Oh my
quick.
God, it's so embarrassing.
That's
It
dangerous.
actually looks it looks dope though. It's
Really?
really cool.
No, but you know what's so embarrassing? When I go to my Princess Pilates classes and I'm like in cute little pigtails and all the girls are looking at me like, what's dangerous about you? And I'm just like, it was a mistake.
I know you're like, nothing. There's nothing dangerous
I'm
about
like,
me.
please don't look at it.
What city did you get that tattoo in?
In Puerto Rico, actually.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah. Like, during COVID.
You're off the Bacardi?
That itself was
Yes,
dangerous.
I was. And I was like, I want it darker. And then I went back and I was like, oh, dear gosh. Like, why did I do that? But I
Is
got
it
it in Puerto
because
Rico.
when you drink a lot, you become like a chola, or what is it?
No, I just become more bold. It's just kind of like they call me like, oh, devious Daisy, dangerous Daisy, crazy Daisy. Just like it was just a nickname, and they were like, bet you won't get it tatted, and I was like, bet I will. But now,
I will.
Now looking back at it, I'm like, I regret it now, but it's okay.
Something I always say I believe in is all daisies are down.
Honestly,
All daisies are
I'm
down.
definitely. Whenever you were like, you want some Hennessy, I was like, if you're drinking,
Yo, I know. She looked at me like, wait, are you playing or not? Because I'm kind of down. It's crazy.
no, I was.
Yo, Daisy Diaries is the podcast. Congratulations.
Thank you
There's
so
much
much.
going on here. It's wild,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Why start a podcast? Why broadcast to the world?
Honestly, I felt like I lacked a platform where I could be myself and be vulnerable and just be open. And I wanted to also provide that for my friends and for anyone, honestly, that wants to go on there and share their story or just be vulnerable and comfortable.
A safe place?
A safe place, a comfortable place. And I feel like my friends would always tell me, like, you make me feel so comfortable. And everybody usually comes to me when they want advice. So I was like, you know what? I already go on lives on my Daisy Diaries Instagram account. So I was like, I definitely want this to be bigger, more professional, like just do it the right way. And so I already love talking in front of a camera, just in general. So I was like, you know what? I would love to podcast. And that's where the idea came from. So it's like a diary and each episode is like a chapter. And so my guests can go on there and
great conversation.
Yes, create conversation. I want it to feel very intimate, very comfortable, just like girl talk, just like, you know, witty banter, just like.
I was going to say, do you have any guys on the show or is it?
No, it's only been females
it's only
so
been
far.
women. I know. I've seen. I'm like, what's going on? I feel like that. What's happening?
I mean, I'm down to have you on there.
Oh my God.
I'm being honest. No, I just feel like I wanted to first have like all my girlfriends come on there, kind of set the tone of like what Daisy Diaries is. And then once I'm like more episodes down and I catch the momentum, then I'll like bring a guest that I don't know, or like that I would love to interview, or like men. I don't know. I'm just like a girl's girl. So I'm just like, I don't know if I want to have men on there yet, but for sure I would love to.
You don't want men on there ruining everything. You know what I'm saying? Looking ugly, you know? Yeah. You don't want this face on camera. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh.
What would you say is like the difference because like, you know, you've had this career as an influencer, the difference between like vlogging and podcasting? Like, I feel like everyone's so intimate with when you're vlogging, like they see where you are, where you go, and podcasting is almost kind of the same thing.
I think it's the same thing, but I think what differentiates it for me is like when I'm vlogging, I'm very like funny and goofy, and like I can be like that on the podcast, but I feel like I wouldn't be taken as serious if I were to be opening up about a very serious or intimate topic. Versus like on the podcast, it's like people go on there and they know like we're about to enter some topics and conversations, and like you're supposed to be very more open-minded. I feel like for a podcast versus a vlog, it's like 10,000 things can be happening on the vlog, and then it's just kind of like, you know, you can miss some things here and there, but I definitely actually feel more comfortable now filming a podcast episode than a YouTube video, surprisingly. I've been on YouTube for I think 7-8 years now. Quite some time. You know, I started when I was like 18, 19, and I'm 26. So I definitely.
You were a little girl.
I was in high school. I was a senior in high school when I first made my video, and then it blew up, and then kind of now I definitely want to be taken more serious, and I want to get into other adventures and like projects or like hosting and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know, I feel like podcasting would kind of lead me
to take you there for sure.
So,
Get you comfortable.
1,000%.
Yes, for sure. Especially interviewing people. I feel like that can be a little bit nerve-wracking.
It can be,
Yeah. So it definitely, it's like I'm getting the hang of it, but I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, I know. When you're interviewing somebody, you just got to be curious.
And I like to make them feel comfortable. I really like to bounce off of like people's energy and people's conversations and stuff. So yeah.
On the gram, everything looks beautiful and nice and aesthetically amazing, right?
Yeah.
But because you can control that.
Yes.
But there's another side when it comes to social media that you can't control. There's a lot of things you can't control, right?
Real life.
Real life? Yeah. Like there's a dark side to it as well.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. It's tough.
It is tough, especially like now with like cancel culture. I feel like every 5 seconds somebody's getting canceled. Cancel culture is very real now. I feel like that's one of the dark sides of like social media and just the internet in general. You know, you can't control everything, and definitely I feel like us human beings are not perfect, and I feel like social media influencers are put on this pedestal where they're like, oh, you can't fuck up, and if you fuck up you're gonna get canceled. Oh my god, I just cursed. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't worry.
But I feel like, I don't know, I take everything with a grain of salt. I try not to take anything too personal on the internet, and at the end of the day I feel like I'm living my life for myself, and I can't satisfy everyone.
No, you can't.
So as long as my family, my friends love me and I'm doing what I love, I feel like you know, I'll be fine. But I feel like you can get lost in it, and I definitely did get lost in it at some point, but I feel like having a true support system is what really helps you kind of get out of
100%.
it.
Why do you think you're getting lost?
Because I basically transitioned from my teens to my 20s in LA. So I graduated high school, I moved to LA, and I got thrown into this world. And so I didn't have any family over here. So I got to experience everything like when I wanted to, and I didn't really have anyone being like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. So I got very lost in the sauce, I guess you could say.
I'm grown, I can do whatever I want. I'm fucking around, I'm living my life.
Exactly. And I was like at the clubs at a very young age, and now I'm just like, but I'm very glad that I went through that at an early stage, because now I'm like over that, you know.
Yeah. Is all family back in Dallas?
Yes, all my family's in Texas and in Mexico. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Are you?
You out here solo? I'm Mexican.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles. I was born here in the Valley. Yeah, I know I look like fucking Indio.
No, where's your family from? Sorry, that's what I meant.
From Mexico, you know, from the capital.
Okay, nice.
That's why I'm dark like this.
I was born in San Luis Potosí. It's beautiful. I was able to visit for my first time in years, 2 years ago. So that was a beautiful experience.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, man. Yeah, yo. Daisy Marquez is here. The Daisy Diaries, the podcast, wherever you find your podcast. You feel me? The Daisy DACA Foundation as well. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You came here undocumented, right?
Yes. So I actually crossed the border at 9 years old.
You remember that moment?
Yes. And I actually went on a date last night, and I was having to tell the guy about it, and I got kind of teary-eyed. I thought like I kind of healed from it, but I feel like when I have to like relive the moment, it definitely like takes me back to how traumatizing it was.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because like during the summer, all my cousins would go to Mexico. So I begged my mom. I was like, can I please go? She's like, well, if you go, you're going to have to cross the border. And I didn't comprehend that at 9 years old.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. The day comes, and they drop me off at this stranger's house, this coyote's house. And they're like, these are the guys that are going to cross you. They're like, my grandma just handed me off. And I was like, oh my God, like, what am I getting myself into? Long story short,
scary.
It was like 6 hours of walking, and you have to cross the river on a little floaty. It was a big group of us. And then unfortunately, like, the immigration came like on a helicopter and like the 4-wheelers and stuff. And so they basically were just like, everybody on their own, and they threw me in a bush. And I just remember that he was like, stay quiet, and I'm so sorry if nobody comes for you. And at that point I was like, I'm gonna die. I was like, I'm never gonna see my family again.
Yo, you're 9 years old at this point.
Yes. And so I just stayed quiet, and I remember seeing the guy like running away, and like from a distance I just see like him very, very tiny, and I see the 4-wheelers come, and they like beat him up and they take him. And I was just literally, I just remember I was like trying to soothe myself, like rocking myself back and forth. And then finally the other coyote came. He's like, let's go. And by that time, I think it was just 3 of us. And then finally I made it safely back home. But I was so mad at my mom because she made me go through that. But if I never experienced that, I would not be the strong, independent woman that I am today. So I'm thankful for the experience. It was very traumatizing, but it made me who I am today.
Yeah.
And so because I experienced that, and I'm under DACA, I'm very thankful to be a part of the program. Unfortunately, it did close. But I reached a point in my life where I was like, would I be happy with my life and with my platform and what I did if I were to die tomorrow? And when I said no, I was like, something has to change. I have to give back to my community, because at the end of the day, my community put me on this pedestal, and gave me my platform. So
100%.
that is where the Daisy DACA Foundation came
You're
about.
providing financial support.
Yes. And so I was like, the permit, you have to renew it every 2 years. And let's say this month you have bills to pay, you have college, you have kids, it's $500. So it's either you pay your permit or you feed your kids, or like, bills. It could be a lot. It's so expensive to live nowadays, So I would hate to be in that position where I have to choose whether I can keep my social security number or I get to feed my kids. Wow. So I wanted to provide that financial support for DACA recipients. And so each month I select a handful of DACA recipients, and I'm doing this all on my own. I don't have investors. So it's just...
This is out of your pocket.
Yes, out of my pocket, just for the kindness of my heart. And
you're going to heaven, bro.
Thank you. I hope so.
You going.
But I hope like in the future it can become like a bigger thing and I have investors. But for now, I wanted to do it on my own. And I genuinely just did it to give back to my community. And I know that.
And how can people receive that financial help?
So you can find the Instagram Daisy DACA Foundation. And then there's a website, and all you have to do is submit pictures of your work permit, and you give just a statement as to why you feel like you should receive the financial support. I have came across such beautiful stories, and I personally call them. I should probably give them a heads up, because then when I'm like, hi, it's Daisy, they like freak out, and I'm like, oh shit, like sorry.
It's 10 minutes of yes, it's me.
Yeah.
Hello.
I just like call them out of nowhere. But yeah, it's very beautiful, and I love what I do. So
that's amazing.
Man,
I can die happy now.
No, for sure, man. No, God's watching.
Yeah,
the universe is watching.
He is, and I say all these, and I've kept it very real on my podcast. Like, I have made mistakes along the way, and I'm not perfect, and I've held myself accountable, and I have apologized, and I've grown, and I feel like my audience has been able to see that, I'm not the same person that has made those mistakes, and, I can only try my best. And so the only person that could judge me is God. So I'm trying
We're
my
all
best.
flawed, Sometimes people have to see us fuck up. It's all good.
Yeah. And that's what makes us humans, and it's okay. And not everyone's going to like me. And I have made amends with that, because I feel like I used to want everyone to like me, and I wanted to have the best reputation, but it's like that's inevitable. So
one person doesn't like you, your world is crushed.
I know.
Because you know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But so I don't take it personal anymore.
You just can't. What's up, Leche?
Without saying too much, right now you bring up finances. You say you fund and the Daisy DACA Foundation.
Yes.
Without saying numbers, what brand has paid you the most for a campaign? No, I'm not saying reveal the number, because I don't want the IRS watching. Just what brand?
You know what brand? Oh, wait. Actually, Shein.
Shein?
Really?
Shein has a very big budget.
Yeah.
I definitely made very high numbers with that brand.
So you got some of Jackie's money.
Yeah, Jackie, you shopping your shit out of
That's insane. I need to hit up Shein. I'm gonna be like, I know you got the budget.
You're gonna be like, sponsor me right
What's
now.
your discount code? You still doing the campaign?
No, I actually don't. I don't anymore.
What, you got any active campaigns going on right now?
Right now I'm doing like sponsorships here and there, but I'm not on like a long contract. I was on a very long contract with Savage X Fenty.
Okay.
But that ended. I feel like nowadays with like TikTok and just how everything is so fast paced and like attention span, I feel like things are moving quicker. Back then it was like you're on a contract for 4 months, 6 months. But now everything's very like short term.
One-offs.
Yeah.
Are you worried about the TikTok ban?
Honestly, no. I'm honestly not as active on TikTok as I should be. I just feel like I like longer content versus shorter content. I'm just such a like YouTuber. I don't even YouTube as much anymore. But no, I'm actually not that worried.
Do you think there's a difference now between influencers? Because like you said, along with like TikTok, everything's so like fast now. Do you think there's a difference between influencers now and influencers when you started?
Yes, for sure. Because I feel like back then, especially like 2016, 2017, like I think even up to this day, it's still so hard to grow on YouTube. But if you're able to grow an audience on YouTube, you like have created a stamp for yourself in the social media world, because TikTok, anybody can become an influencer. Anybody can get a bunch of followers. So I think once you make it on YouTube, it like you have just like really created something for yourself.
You created a solid like foundation.
Like a solid foundation, then you can kind of build up. Versus TikTok, like if it gets banned, it's like crap. Like what is everybody going to go on YouTube? It's like so hard to stand out there and create. So I'm very thankful that I started YouTube at a very young age. I still love it. I'm just not as passionate as I was because I'm a little bit older now and I wanted to do philanthropy or I wanted to invest or do real estate or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely just trying not to limit myself to just one thing.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Do you still edit your own vlogs?
I edit all my content. I even edit my
edit it.
podcast. Yeah, my podcast episodes, I still edit them.
That's right.
I get some help, but I'm just such a perfectionist when it
Yeah.
comes to my editing because
You know your angles and shit.
yes.
No, for sure,
That's why
for
I'm like,
sure.
I see the camera right here and I'm like, okay, this is my cut. I'm like, put my hair back.
That's fucking
Is it tough for you to
crazy.
pay people? Because it's like you work so hard for your money.
No, because you know what I've learned is no, not even
You
that.
stingy or what?
No,
Everything's a write-off.
no.
It's expensive.
I've learned that as money comes in, it has to come out. It's just right off.
Spread the wealth, bro.
I'm the most giving
Hire
person
Leches,
ever.
right?
I am. No, my friend the other day, she's like, "You're such a Make-A-Wish," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Because you just give so much to everybody." And I was like, "Well, I love that."
That's
love
cool.
that.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad
That's
thing.
cool, but watch your mouth.
Exactly. I was like, okay. I was like, don't tell anyone. No. But yeah, no, I've learned that as money comes in, it has to go out and you can't really just hold on to that. Like,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
yeah, especially during COVID. I was like, my mom's like, so what are you going to do? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, what if the world never goes back to normal? She's like, what are you going to do with the money that you've made on social media? And I was like, nothing. And she's like, you need to invest that money. She's like, because what if the internet's gone tomorrow? And I was like, crap, you're right. So my parents are definitely my mentors, and they taught me to invest my money into properties in Texas. So that's why I'm based in Texas now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cheaper out there too. Yeah.
It's so much cheaper.
Yeah, I would love to be an influencer in Texas. Guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally.
No, I say
fucking crazy.
the
That's why
amount.
everybody's moving there.
No, honestly, you guys, like yacht.
Wait, what, Garcia?
You gotta live around some wild people out there.
Oh no, yeah, no, over there. No, I could. Oh, that is so true.
So
It's
true.
so sad, but it's so true. No, but yeah, my life in Texas is so different than here because I drive to Target and I see cows and horses on my way over there. You know, I drive to Target over here and I see a bunch of homeless people.
Yeah,
Well, I
you
mean,
see a homeless man naked on the way.
I know. It's
Yo, that naked homeless guy.
You're
I
in the
know.
same driver. You're driving in Chino.
yeah, I know.
Hey, don't talk shit about my city, dog.
Honestly, I love LA though. I love the balance of like going to Texas and being with my family, and it's so simple, and then coming here and it's like hectic and work, but I love it. I
Yeah.
love the life, and I'm very, very, very thankful.
You know what I'm not a big fan of is like Tex-Mex food.
Honestly, me either. I feel like there's a lot of Tex-Mex food here, no?
Nah, I mean, yeah, not really. Out here it's different, bro.
Really?
We're close to Mexico, bro. You feel me?
Actually, you're right.
We're both Texas.
No,
and
Texas is close to Mexico, too.
Oh, wait,
True.
actually,
Come on, it's very true.
I'm like, you know what?
Well, we're closer
I
to
wouldn't
TJ.
want- I did.
Well, it depends where you are in Texas. 'cause
Yeah, it
Texas
depends,
does
right?
True. I'm like, well, I didn't go to college. I couldn't go to college, but
Why? Because of your status.
yeah, they basically were just like, we're going to charge you as an international student. And I was like, wow.
You're like, no, thank you.
I was
Okay.
so broke that I was so depressed. So then that's
It's
how I
scary.
got into YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
Who inspired
yeah.
you to be an influencer or a YouTuber?
Literally nobody.
You don't watch nobody's videos and say, I want to do that?
No, I honestly never, like I would watch like Bethany Mota and stuff like growing up, but I never was like, I want to be a social media influencer. I think how I got into it was I was depressed because I worked my ass off to go to college. And when I found out that I couldn't because I was so broke, I was like, well, what am I going to do now? And so I was just doing makeup for fun on Snapchat. And so people were like, we want longer videos. So then that's why I got into YouTube. And I was like, okay, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
So then that's whenever I started. And then I was like, oh crap, like now I'm in this space. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, should I keep doing it? And so I literally graduated, and that's when everything
Yeah,
happened.
I feel
But
like that era of when you started and like the social media influencers and beauty vloggers and everything like that, I feel like there was no blueprint other than like Michelle
was a
Phan.
Wild
and
Wild
all
West.
that.
it just kind of
It
like
just-
happened like
everyone-
organically.
And
It just,
what's the worst 2016 makeup trend, would you say?
oh my God, my eyebrows.
The block
Oh
eyebrows?
my God, I had upside down Nike checks.
Pull
I'm
up a
talking
picture.
about.
Pull up a
No, it
picture.
was so bad, and I literally look back at it. I'm like, why would y'all tell me that I look good when I had blocks on my eyebrows?
gaslighters.
I know. I was like, oh my God, y'all had me out here thinking I was a 10, and I was over here like a 5 with those eyebrows.
We were concealing our eyebrows like
Crazy.
Yeah,
No.
Y'all
no.
were figuring out the eyebrow situation.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Would
Yeah.
you take block brows or fluffy brows now?
I definitely like the fluffy brows
Okay.
now. I can't, man.
You bring up Snapchat. It seems like Snapchat's like relaunching, right? Have they reached out to get back on it?
Snapchat is where it's at
Yes,
right now.
yeah,
Right?
Literally. Like, for example, like David Dobrik, he was creating vlogs on YouTube, but now he completely moved over to Snapchat because it's so
They're
quick.
paying him a bag.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think in like the finances, Snapchat is on top, and then it's like, honestly though, but like on YouTube, you will only make real money on YouTube if you're making over 1 million views. But on Snapchat, the way you have to be posting at least like 50 to 100 stories to be making like there's this influencer that recently talked about that he makes $50K a month just from posting Snapchat stories, but he posts like 50 to 100 like
It's his life.
constantly.
Yeah.
A day?
I think we need
A
to
day.
switch,
A day,
y'all.
bro.
We
A
need to
day.
switch.
Like a day.
Yeah, dog.
Because it's like every 6 or 12 stories there's an ad. So imagine you post 100. But it's kind of like they literally take pictures of like your
no shit.
hand.
Yeah.
And it's just like people just like tapping, but they just tap through like 30 ads and that's a
Yeah.
bunch of money. So Snapchat is where it's at.
Let's go.
I'm switching up, y'all.
That's interesting.
I'm like, you guys should get on Snapchat.
I'm signing back up.
I will tap through all of y'all's stories like this.
Snapchat, I think the reason why people still held on to Snapchat for a long time was the filters. They had
They're fun.
They had
They're
really
fun.
good filters.
I
Not that
love the
use them, but-
filters. Also because messages are just gone.
Oh, that, you was on demon time. That's crazy.
Back then,
Dangerous
back in the
Daisy.
day,
Dangerous
back in the
Daisy.
day. I'm hosting a dinner for Women's History Month, and I'm gonna have a lot of my friends and just have it really be about women empowerment. Like I said, I'm a girls, and I haven't been able to celebrate the launch of the Daisy DACA Foundation. It just kind of like happened, and I'm like the ball's been rolling, and I'm like, let's actually celebrate this beautiful thing that has been created. Bring a lot of my girlfriends and just celebrate women and Women's History Month, and just.
You bringing Becky G out?
I wish. I love her.
Jackie's excited to be in attendance.
I
Jackie's
love
excited.
her.
Jackie.
Girl, come on over, girl.
Jackie's
I'm
excited
so
to be
down.
here.
I'm so down.
I would love to.
Jackie's bringing Jenny 6ix9ine. Is that okay?
That's fine.
No, for sure.
Her thing. She invited me to her thing. Daniela.
Yeah,
Are you guys gonna go?
I got the invite too.
Let's just go in for sure.
I'm like a F-class influencer.
No,
So I got the petty invite, but I got the invite.
He's still gonna go though.
yeah.
I might.
He pulls up.
Yeah.
Pulls up.
I won't pull over cameras though. It's like sometimes you go to the influencer parties and everybody's vlogging. I
Of
just
course,
like,
of
I'm
course.
like,
know
Everybody's
what?
working.
No, you know what? I think back then it was so different because now it's like you see influencers like on live at the party. So it's like
gosh.
and I'm just like, oh my God, times really have changed because
Yeah.
it never used
Big
to be
time.
like that.
That's hella scary too, though.
It is. Like
I'm not trying to be on.
at one point, listen. At one point, dude, like I don't know if you were that type of influencer where you go to a party and you're vlogging everything, right? Because obviously it's like a job.
Yeah.
But at what point do you realize, like, man, I got to start living life a little bit more and being present?
I think like 2-3 years ago, I would take my camera everywhere. And I mean, I had 2 YouTube channels back then. I actually had a couples channel and then that didn't work out. So then I turned it into.
What'd you turn it into? Did you sell the channel?
No, that's actually my podcast channel now. So I was like,
Shout 'em out.
So I was like, you know what?
Channel for one.
I still had a following on there, and I was like, perfect. I'm going to delete all these old vlogs and
savage,
let
aren't
go
you?
of that. And
Move
no,
forward.
yeah, I'm very glad that I kept it still because I was going to delete the whole channel. But I used to always bring out my camera for everything, but. I think moving back to Texas, it made me really appreciate the little things and living in the moment and my family. And so even when I go to concerts now, I always try to stay as present. I think
in the moment, yeah.
I think being present really has helped me stay grounded.
Yeah, that's what always
Yeah,
threw me
that's
off,
good.
like being in attendance to those kind of events. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, these people are just fucking recording. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, live life.
everything is about recording, and it's very competitive. I would say. I definitely am so glad that I'm not as in it as I was. I still like to, come in and whenever
Pop out?
Yeah, pop
Make
in
an
and
appearance, a
out.
little walkthrough.
Yeah. But
Walkthrough.
yeah, I definitely just try to focus on myself and be on myself.
And that's what it's about.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
Daisy
you.
Marquez, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having
Appreciate
me.
the energy. All
Thank
good.
you.
Thank
This
you very
was my
much.
highlight of my day, you
For
guys.
sure. No, thank you. Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Come through anytime, for real.
Yay!
But on time.
On time, yes, you're right. You're
Like
right.
that. Cruise Show, Real 92.3.
Yo, check out more of our YouTube interviews now, ASAP. Plus, download the free iHeartRadio app so you can check out the Cruise Show podcast.